Okay, hey everyone. Making this Google Sheets video so you can learn how to Google Sheets like the pros. Something like that. Okay, so here we go. Uh, I came up with this little scenario where you have musicians and you have the instruments, and then you're going to poll. You want to see what instruments they have or what everyone uses. I don't know. It's just coming up with some stuff. So here we go. First, we'll import this string of um, musicians. And here we go. It's just a names with commas separating them, comma and a space separating them. But what we want to do is, this is all broken out. We want it to be in a column, and you notice everyone's name starts with the lowercase letter. We want it to be uppercase, and then we're going to add a last name. So I'll show you how to do all that. Pretty easy with formulas. So what we could do is come down here to this line and say split. And what a split does is it basically splits out by a character or string. So we'll say split this by this string, which is comma and then space, because that's between each name. So you'll see, boom, it breaks them out. And then what we'll do is you could transpose this line, and this takes the horizontal line and it makes it vertical. So there we go. And then you could say equals proper, and then bring that down here. And then it makes everyone uppercase, or first initial, first letter of their name. But what we like to do, instead of doing all that, is to wrap those formulas all in one. So we'll go equals transpose by the split, and then proper. So you see, we're taking this, and this has to be a string for this to work. And then we will close the proper, and then put our split parameters in, comma, space, in quote, and then it should fill out the rest of the formula once we hit enter, the in parentheses. So there we go. We got it. So the next thing we're going to do is make an if statement. So all these people have the same last name, so we'll say if there is something in this area, then we're going to put the last name of Jackson in here. So we'll say if A1 equals nothing, then do nothing, otherwise put the name Jackson. So that's how that reads. If A1 equals nothing, comma, that's the next part of the if, it's nothing, then put Jackson. So if this is nothing, then put nothing, otherwise Jackson. And put enter, so this is Jackson. So then what we could do is select the whole column of B, hit Command and D, and then it goes all the way down, fills that formula all the way down. And then if we put in Janet, it's got a name here. So yeah, that's how to do that. And let's see what's next. Okay, so then what we're going to do is combine these names with a text join. So we'll say equals text join. And the first thing you do is put what you want to combine them with. So we'll say Jackie space Jackson. So we need that space. So we'll say open quote, space, in quote. And then one of the things you do is say true for if you want to skip any blanks, like if we were doing first, middle, last, then we'd if there we didn't want like two blanks next to each other, you'd put that true there, which I put in anyways, and then we say what we want to combine together. So it's these two, and we'll autofill. Boom. So we broke it apart, we put it back together. Broke it apart with split. All these guys, put them down. Put a if statement for this, and then a text join to combine them. So we got some good stuff going on here. Okay, so now what we're going to do is to use data validation to put a drop down for their instruments. So I'm going to add a row above this, and then I'm going to make this, and we'll put band members. Okay, now we'll paste in our instrument. And so what we're going to do is click this and say data validation, list from a range, and we will select our range, which is this. But we're going to say F2, so avoid the word instrument, but put anything else that's in that column down here. And we'll also say D2. So the drop downs will start in D2 and go all the way down. So we'll say save. And now we have the drop downs. So we've got Jackie on tambourine, Tito on guitar, we got bass, tambourine, we got conga, we got percussion. Oh boy. So let's make this give it a little space. So we have everyone here. So then let's add some new names too. Give them some instruments. Bass, Johnny guitar, got Tommy. He plays drums. It's not showing up here. So what we're going to do is type it in over here in instruments, drums, and now you'll see it shows up at the bottom. And you could do that with anything like a flute. Hey, flute's up there now. Okay, so we don't care about the flute. Okay, so now one of the things we want to do is we want to show whether an instrument is not showing up here. So I'm going to do that with conditional formatting. So we'll go to Format, Conditional Formatting, and you could say if is empty, then make it this color. So if it doesn't have anything, then it's this, but that shows the yellow color for everything in here. We don't care. So what we're going to do is go down here to Custom Formula, and we will make an and statement. So we'll say equals and then we'll say when you make a conditional formatting, you'll just use that top row and kind of go off of that, and all the formulas replicate off of that. I'm probably not explaining that right, but so we'll say C1 is not, so that's a greater than, less than, just it's not equal, nothing. So C1 is not nothing, and D1 equals nothing. And then in this parentheses, and you'll notice that now, because there's something in C and something in, or C1 and C11, that they are showing yellow. So we'll say down here. And then, but let's make sure, we probably are not going to put anything over here, say. So we'll make another thing, conditional formatting for the top row that will only affect the top row. So custom formula is, we'll make it background white and it's bold. So custom formula is equals row D1 equals 1. Oh, let's do this to show what we're talking about. So we'll say CD. So we're applying it to this range. So you notice C got the bold, and even if we put something here, well, so this is still not showing up white, but it's because these are out of order. So we'll just grab this, put it up there, and then now, even if we put this, it shows up as a bold and background is white. But now what we're going to do is to use an array formula with an if statement and a row. It's going to be intense. So what we'll do is we'll start out with array formula, and we'll say if row. With array formula, we're not just referencing a cell, we're referencing the whole, I guess, the whole thing. You could just say 1 through 10, but we're just going to say the whole row. And so we'll say C to C. If row C to C equals 1, then we will put the words title and our next if statement. So we're going to wrap if statements in this array. So if the row is 1, then put title. Otherwise, if C to C equals nothing, then put nothing. Otherwise, we'll put the word musician. So here we go. We've got everyone as a musician, but Joey, he's not playing any instrument, so he's really considered a singer. So let's change our if statement. So we have if C is empty, then don't put anything. But now let's say if D is empty, then let's put singer. Otherwise, we'll put musician. So now this formula, when it goes through, it's saying if it's the first row, then let's make it a title, make the word title. If there's something in C, let's call it, or if C is empty, let's put something. And if D is empty, let's put singer. Otherwise, let's put musician. So we got a bunch of stuff going on at once. Pretty fun stuff. Yeah, we'll create a query of all this. So here we go. I'm going to make it right here, and you'll see why in a little bit. So equals query, and we'll say, look, C to D, and we will say, so that's our data set, is the C to D, and then we're going to look at select A where, oh, I'm sorry, select C where D equals, for right now I'm just going to say base, and you'll see what I'm about to do in a second. Oh, you got to use single quotes, base. So now you get to see who is using base, and it doesn't really, like, it's not very interactive or anything, but at least we can see the base. But what we can do is let's grab one of these drop downs, and so we can choose anything over here, and let's modify our query where we take out the word base, put a open quote, so that kind of breaks our little query, and then put an ampersand, and then type in H1, and then another ampersand, and then close quote. So now we're going to reference whatever is in H1 for our query. So we say select C where D equals whatever is over here. So right now it's pulling everyone that's using a tambourine, and if we wanted whoever uses the drums or the flute, there's no one, guitar, conga, bass. Pretty cool stuff. Hope you liked it. Please subscribe to the channel, like this video, tell your friends, write your mom. I don't know, whatever you have to do. But anyways, yeah, and comment. Let me know what you'd like to see in Google Sheets. If you have a question, I'd love to figure it out, even if I don't know it. Or any kind of Photoshop stuff. I think I'm going to put that on this channel too. Thanks so much for watching.